Hi, welcome to a new video, and in this one we're going to look at something a little different, as I was fortunate a little while ago to visit Thruxton Race Circuit and their motorsports centre and get a drive in a variety of vehicles they have there, one of which was an old school Formula Renault. So these things would have raced actively in the early 90s. As such, they are very, very old school. So we're talking no power assisted anything, 4-speed manual box with no synchro on them, and they run a 1.7 litre engine kicking out around about 140 brake horsepower and weigh in around about 500 kilos or so. They are minimal aero on them, so there is a small amount of aero at the front and rear, but not massive amounts of downforce. A lot of mechanical grip off the tyres aided with a little bit of downforce. And Thruxton is one of, if not the fastest circuits in the UK, so it's quite fun to drive. Now, one thing about these is they are cars that are designed for kind of like come and drive race experience type things, so they are limited to 4,500 RPM stroke 5,000. It's around about there anyway, so terminal speed on these at that, or the 4-speed box, is around about 100 miles per hour thereabouts, which means for probably about half of Thruxton you'll pedal to the floor if you want to. So there was a few other people out on track around while I was doing this, because it was at the same time as race experience day, so I managed to pull in, I think in total, around about 15-16 odd laps. And one of them was a completely clear track, so no other traffic on there, which was a good experience. So what I thought I'd do is put a comparison up against two titles that I know both have Thruxton as modded DLC available for them, so Assetto Corsa and the original Automobilista. And in Assetto Corsa I actually downloaded and used a mod which is the Formula Barber, so the Skip Barber Formula car, and in Automobilista I used the Formula Trainer car, which, although it doesn't have any aero on it, is a reasonable match in both cases. And in both cases, when I was driving them, I changed up and limited myself to around about 4,500 RPM and no more than a fourth gear, so get a reasonable match with the Formula Renault. Now, it's never going to be an exact match, but this was just for fun more than anything else, to see what worked and what didn't. Interesting thing is, in both cases, both Assetto Corsa and Automobilista, the experience of driving them, once you remove the obvious G-forces and things like that, in terms of how the steering weighted up, how the cars reacted, etc., was actually very, very close to the real thing, which is nice to come across. That, you know, despite using different engines, both Assetto Corsa and Automobilista do actually pull in a close to realistic sensation off the back of the cars that they attempt to simulate in comparison to this old school Formula Renault, which was nice to see. The only area that both of them were let down on was the braking. It's far too easy in both titles to lock the brakes up. However, some of that may well be down to the fact that with unservoed brakes, as the Formula Renault does have, you do need to apply a massive bootful to actually get it to lock up. And with that much greater pressure needed, you've got a lot greater ability to modulate the brake pedal on that. So it's, you know, and you then have a sim racing setup where it's much easier to apply full brake pressure, particularly with the T3PA Pros that I use. So that's kind of understandable that it's easier to lock up and easier to apply full braking pressure on a set of sim pedals of that nature. It will be interesting because I'm picking up a set of the Thrustmaster load cell pedals and see how those go against it. But I'm just going to let you see the videos side by side and see how they compare. As I say, this was done just for fun. Any thoughts on these, please do drop them down below. And if you found this video interesting, please do like and subscribe on the channel and hit the bell icon to be notified when new videos get uploaded. Thanks very much. Take care.